Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This will be fielded at the 8. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
But that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
On first down, Rodgers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be a second down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey, 63. That was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
Leopard! Here we go now. Green, 39.
They begin with a run by Smith. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. First carry for Nick Chubb, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Aaron Lynch coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
A 1st down carry for Smith. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. 319. 319.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Boom.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up Empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
319. Yeah, Liz. 319.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Eric Armstead forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
319.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
319. 319.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody covered. Oh!
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
319. 319.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or has moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capture the field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to go for a big play downfield, and that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for the Niners. 43 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Here's a give to Smith. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
A handoff to Smith. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys have been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on third. So first and second down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. He'll drop to throw, letting one go deep for the end zone. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
All right. Green 18.
And they'll run it here. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. He had over 100 catches in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of this wild card game. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Drops it off for Chubb. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Blue 58.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Solomon Thomas in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Everyone's got 4 down. 319.
To throw on second down. Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams from 17 yards out. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now stands at 13. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So 1:56 to play in this first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Jumbo! Hey, Mike!
Now Rodgers looking to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Box it, box it, box it, box it. Zoom, zoom. Box it, box it, box it, box it.
Now Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. McManus's point after is good, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10.
319.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Right now, you got 58.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. He won't get in, but they are going to have the football in a great spot. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal.
Here we go.
Smith trying to run for it. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Here we go now.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
They'll look to throw here. And it's caught. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great play there. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold now out to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And up past the 35. A very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. To throw is Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Right now, you got 58. Box it, box it, box it, box it.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
That's fine. Yeah.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter. No time to panic. I mean, you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Desmond King making the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And Gold is able to put it through. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So he was struggling a bit, misses a couple, then he bangs a really long one through.
And Brandon, doesn't it just figure? He'd had a few misses, as you noted, but his coach had confidence to run him back out there and let him bomb away from long distance. And this time, he puts it through.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Green 19th and on it. Over.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Single receiver. Green 18. Zone. Blue 58 and on it.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot. And now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Zoom.
Here's Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Equanimous St. Brown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, 2nd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw here. Throwing right, and that's complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that will shave 1 more off this lead. Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
319.
On play action, now Rodgers. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
The Packers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey, check 26. Hey, where y'all going?
Rodgers now to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They'll look to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Set. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
And Gold is able to put it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, that's one part of the equation. Puts him back within 1 score, but I'd be surprised if we don't see an onside kick coming up.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, partner. They've still got the 2 timeouts, but without that third one, they can bleed a lot more clock on you. So how confident are you that the defense can hold them deep? I think you're exactly right. I'd line up and play for the onside kick here.
And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And the 49ers going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they take a knee. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play.